really wanted to create a container that was personalized to the person, right? What I was searching for was something that was personalized to me and not someone else's journey. So often I would fall in love with a particular coach or mentor because of everything they stood for and everything they'd accomplished, and I was really inspired and I was really motivated. But ultimately, going through their coaching program, going through their process, what ended up happening was I got to walk through their journey. I got to walk through their way of going through things, what they learned, what they've developed, how their journey has evolved. And whilst that has so many benefits, and especially if they resonate with me, they had so many benefits, ultimately it wasn't personalized to me because it was still me walking the footsteps of someone else's journey. And so I was seeking somewhere where I could truly just immerse myself in my own journey, someone who would be able to guide me into myself, someone who would be able to actually take me through the steps and take me and guide me and facilitate me into seeing parts of myself and how I'm meant to evolve, right? Not how they've done it, not the steps that they took necessarily, although of course your coach is always going to share, things that have worked from their experience and from their clients' experiences and everything as well. But there's a difference between you signing up to walk someone else's journey and you signing up to go on your own soul journey. And that was what I was really seeking. I was like over and over just working with another coach, another person, because I'm like, oh no, it's going to be this one. It's going to be this particular strategy. It's going to be this particular belief set and, this process that's going to work for me. And what I managed to gather was a ton of data, a ton of support, a ton of, experience in all these different facets and all these different strategies. And ultimately, it took me to the point where I realized, holy shit, I was never meant to just learn one of these strategies as my way of my journey. I was meant to actually take all of this on board, see what works, see what doesn't, but ultimately I needed to go through and figure out what is actually my journey, what is actually my process, what is actually designed and created purely for me. And so, it was very much, when I got to that evolution, it was about discovering, my path is unique. It is personalized. And so when I look back on Soul Journey and how it came to be, it's like, well, that's exactly what happened, right? That's exactly what it ultimately ended up being, is that every single person who goes through Soul Journey, it is personalized. There is, like, whilst we have, obviously, because I love structure, whilst we have, the layout of what's included, what's involved, kind of a rough layout of how it'll work, because of course we need to have some sort of structure in place to hold the container, right? Whilst that is all in place, really the journey is completely guided by the individual. It's completely personalized. There's a reason that I don't work with more than a few people in this container at a time, because I am involved in that person's container. It takes my energy, it takes my intuition, it takes my commitment and my connection with that person, right, to actually evolve the container. And so I can't have my energy split too much, right? And that was something that I was really seeking. That was something that I was really wanting to find, is where can I feel like this is personalized to me, this is unique to me. I'm not just going through somebody else's journey. I'm actually getting to discover what is mine. And, whilst the layout is obviously, it's quite unique in the sense that you have, your time with me, you have your time with the expansion artists that you work with, you have your time on your own as well, and you have the sessions and everything in between, as well as the extra video trainings that you have. Whilst that's all included in there, it's all very self-guided, and obviously, we work together to figure out what is your best strategy. And that's another thing that you get to learn, which is so incredible, because I lacked this for years, is actually discovering, okay, so how do I work best? How do I actually work best? How do I learn best? What kind of coaching situation do I desire to be in to get the most out of it? Oh, I just saw a love heart bubble, but I missed the face. If you're there, say hello, because I missed your face. Oh, beautiful. I've got my other phone here because I have to do that to be able to share it. So I see it was Amberly. Hey, lovely. yeah, so whilst it's all, it's obviously all structured and you have that, it is completely guided by us in how it's going to evolve, in how it's actually going to go. And that's what I was saying, that you get to actually learn how you operate best, so that moving forward, you get to actually discover, okay, well, when I do want to work with somebody else, when I do want to get some support, what do I need to look for so that I know I'm actually getting what I need, right? So that I know that I'm not just going and jumping into this because it sounds amazing and because the person's journey is amazing and I'm inspired by them and I want what they have, which is a lot of the energy that I came from early on, but rather, oh, okay, I know that this person is going to see me. I know what I require for me to be in my best energy, for me to work in my best energy, and for me to get the results I want, because I know myself at that level. And from that point, it's like, whoever I work with, I'm going to get everything I need. It's a no-brainer, right? And that's one of the biggest gifts that I was searching for. That was what I wanted, and it was one of the biggest gifts with Soul Journey that came through, is that it truly is, you get that personalized time and that personalized experience of getting to know yourself, where moving forward, you are never the same again. You know yourself so deeply, you trust yourself so deeply that you know whatever choice you make moving forward is going to be the right one for you, which is something that, I lacked after working with so many different people, and I would get so many different experiences and so many different takeaways, and sometimes it would be amazing and I'd have great, success, and then other times it wouldn't work. But ultimately it kept coming back to, why can't this stick for me? Why can't this work for me? Why do I just keep following other people's journeys and expecting it that one day it's just going to click and I'm going to be, that's going to work perfectly for me, when really it's not how we operate. We are so unique. Whilst we are all connected and whilst we all have so much similarity and we are all one, we are here in this human experience so differently and experiencing life so differently. And to have, the space to be able to actually be in a container, to have it be completely personalized, completely about you, shut away your coach's journey and what they think and what's worked for them, but for them to actually be able to see you and pull out of you the best of you, that was a space that I wanted to be in and that I ultimately had to create, because whilst I worked with amazing coaches that were able to guide me through all these different facets, and some of them obviously, as you would know with Soul Journey, you get to work with some of the absolute best that I have worked with, because I honor them so much for what they did to me, right? And how they actually facilitated me in my growth and my expansion. But ultimately, they were the ones that, like me, understood that this is about me. This is a journey that I have to go through, and they are there to facilitate that. They are not there to create another version of themselves. And unfortunately, in the world, there was a lot of that. Right? And it's that process of getting to the point where you are so guided by your soul, by your inner knowing, that you are the star, right? The Soul Journey program, the Soul Journey container, you're the star. Not me, not the expansion artists, not everything else that's going on in there, not all the processes you're going through, not all the transformations and everything that we're helping facilitate. You are the star. You are the one guiding this, and you are the one that ultimately at the end is a completely different person, right? So that's the first thing. That was the first thing that I couldn't find, and so ultimately I had to create. The second thing